Hello, everybody. This is Lawrence. I'm the owner of CometLeads. This is another lesson of teaching you how to avoid these as a new seller so you can sell on Amazon for the long term and stay successful. Avoid getting suspended by Amazon. In this video, you will learn all kinds of tips and tricks and best practices to keep your account healthy and stay away from IP complaints and account health issues that could potentially shut down your business and make you lose money. So let's get started. In our first lessons here, we'll learn about how to protect your account health, identify good and bad buys from the Keepa chart, what kind of product you should source and what kind of product you shouldn't. And then as part of our objectives, you should also understand what is account health and why it's important to you. Then I will tell you what are the good practices that you should equip yourself with to stay healthy and stay successful on Amazon. So have fun. Let's get it. First, let's talk about what's the difference between a good Keepa chart and a bad Keepa chart, because this determines a good buy or a bad buy for you. First of all, a good Keepa chart. You should see immediately in this chart, as an example, that there is some kind of fluctuation in the buy box, but overall it's pretty stable around the same level. There is a good demand of sellers going in and out of stock. When they're going down is when they're selling out, and when they're coming back up, when it rises again, is when they're restocking. You can easily identify this pattern of going up and down, and it continues. This is a good chance that you will see a product that you should definitely sell. Because there's no reason a seller would sell a product that don't sell. Because it sells. Because there are sellers selling on this without any issues. Because their customers keep making purchases. That's why they keep coming back and selling on the same listing. This is a good buy. If you see a Keepa chart that looks like this, you should definitely try to sell this. Now let's talk about what is a bad buy. In this Keepa showing here, you can immediately see in this red circle, there's a massive drop from some number of sellers, straight line down to 1, even though there are sellers coming back on the listing. But this straight line here is an indication of an IP complaint. Whenever there's an IP complaint on the listing, all the sellers on this listing are immediately kicked off the listing. They're no longer able to sell the product. You can see it right away. Buy box, the pink line here. You can see on the right here, buy box is the pink color line. Before, there were fluctuations because sellers are competing with the buy box. The buy box rotates to different sellers, causing the fluctuation. Visually, it looks like this, but after the IP complaint, the price dropped and stayed at a straight single line. We can even take this apart. Just look at the single line here. If you ever see a Keepa chart that just one straight flat line in the buy box, you should absolutely avoid. That's an indication you can get an IP complaint by selling on the listing, and also it may be a private label. Just to avoid headaches, you should move on. So what you should be looking at when you're buying a product, looking at the Keepa chart, it should have a stable buy box. It should have a good amount of sellers selling out of stock and restocking consistently. There should be no brand selling on the listing, either currently or in the past 365 days. We should always look in the past year to see relevant data, whether the brand has ever filed IP complaint in the past or they selling on the listing in the past, because if they were, we're not going to sell it. And you should never sell on a listing that already had an IP complaint filed in the past. So to help yourself avoid getting hit with any account health issues, to protect your account so you can stay on Amazon and sell for the long term, because you can all avoid it by selling on listings without any of these issues. What you shouldn't sell on a listing is when there's a cliffhanger drop, a straight line down, drop from some number straight to 1 seller. This is the indicator of an IP complaint. Whenever you see this, you should raise an immediate red flag and avoid. Move on to the next one. You should avoid Keepa with a flat buy box line. As I mentioned earlier in here, this is a flat buy box line. You should immediately raise a red flag. This might be a private label product or brand selling on the listing. And if there's only one seller, this could also cause flat buy box line. If there wasn't any historical data visually seeing other sellers has ever been on the listing without any issues, then you shouldn't really sell it. If the brand is selling on Amazon, selling on some other listing, you should avoid as a new seller. Here are some common misconceptions. You have heard of any of these. Are these red flags? If a listing has no BSR or high BSR, this isn't to disqualify the product. Labeling it as a red flag because BSR really doesn't matter on Amazon. We should also consider other factors to determine sale. Product with no BSR or high BSR will still sell. If Amazon is on a listing or owns 100% of buy box, should you sell it? Let me show you a tip. This isn't a red flag at all, because even it shows that Amazon owns 100% buy box, but this number isn't exactly accurate in the Keepa, because sellers can still get buy box and get sales. Even if you don't have the buy box, you can still get sales. There may be a lot less. The buy box will get you more sales. That's how buy box works. But having no buy box doesn't equate to getting no sales. So if Amazon is on the listing, you should consider other criteria, factors regarding whether you can sell or not. Do a test buy just to see. Is this a red flag if you're selling on the same listing with larger sellers? Suppose they have 10,000 storefront reviews. Should you compete the buy box with them? Absolutely. If it's profitable and the product sells. Same thing with Amazon. You can consider larger sellers as a smaller size of Amazon. Just because they're big enough doesn't mean they will take everything. You can still get sales. Should you trust that seller app that says IP or PL under alert? Should you avoid because you think this will get you an IP complaint? Of the perfect example, if you go to a Nintendo on Amazon, you can see on Seller Amp, the alert section will have a red IP symbol. But Nintendo isn't an IP brand. There are plenty of third-party sellers selling it. So what happens is, whenever Seller Amp says it's IP or PL, Seller Amp is just guessing. It's based on a historical likelihood. It isn't accurate. The only way to tell if there's an IP complaint is when there's a straight line drop from some number to 1. This is the IP complaint. Otherwise, if seller amp says it's IP or PL, you should not disqualify the product and not sell it. You should check Keepa for more information. Understanding this will help you have a solid foundation to be a good seller and be successful on Amazon. Now let's talk about account health and why is it important to you. Because this is the lifeline of your Amazon seller account. If you don't have good account health, Amazon may shut you down and kick you out of the platform. You may be banned forever or suspended. You can't even come back or appeal. So staying healthy is absolutely necessary to support your long-term success on Amazon. In your account health dashboard, you have a metric, a progress bar that looks like this. Everyone as a new seller will start as 200 account health rating. This is the baseline of your account health. Without any violation, without any complaint. Getting a violation will drop this number under 200. Keep selling products will raise this number all the way to 1000. The way how account health rating works is dissected into different sections. When you are at 200, this is the baseline. If you're above 250, this is a proven metric to determine whether you are a good seller or not. And staying above 200 and under 1000 or at 1000, this puts you at a very healthy account health rating. You are quote unquote safe from most account health issues. But if you are under 200, between 100 and 200, your account will be at risk of deactivation. If you are under 100 for whatever reason, your account is at danger. It can get suspended at any moment. As a seller, you should try your best to not sell any product and get IP complaints or account health violations when you're a new seller. Between 200 to 250, this is also a risk. Because your account health number is so low, getting an IP complaint or several complaints could easily drop your account health to 200 or below that, which puts you at risk. So my best advice between this level, you should sell as much as possible and stay compliant in policy with Amazon and don't do anything too risky. You will have a little bit more chance to take more risk once you're above 250. And I will explain why in a second. So why is account health so important? Because staying healthy will help you get more buy box. But if you are not healthy in your account health, Amazon sees that and you might get kicked out the listing. You might get brand gated for you. Amazon will lose their trust in you to stop giving you brands that you can sell. So you get less brands auto-gated. You get more brands re-gated for you, which may cause you to lose money. That might be losing inventory as well. And in the worst cases, it might lead to account suspension. You only have one chance to prove to Amazon that you are a good seller. The platform is extremely tight, strict, adhering to their policy. If you, for whatever reason, you broke your terms of service, or it's called the Amazon Business Solution Agreement, and this is the same agreement what most people refer to as Section 3. If you break the terms of services listed in Section 3, you don't have a chance to get back unless you have everything that they need. Assuming you broke the rules, because you don't have what they have and you don't have a chance. So to be a good seller, you need to avoid getting IP complaints or inauthenticity complaints. Monitor your account health closely on a daily basis and source legitimate suppliers and retailers to buy from. Your primary goal as a new seller should be doing all these things and get to 250 in your account health rating as soon as possible and stay above that level. There are several things that could cause your account health to go down. Getting violations and complaints, especially repeated violations, because the first violation may be low impact. But if you keep getting violations and complaints, the number of scores, readings getting deducted from your account health can double, triple every time you get one. For example, suppose you get an IP complaint on the first time. Amazon will take 4 points off your account health. The third time you get an IP complaint will be called a repeat violation. And Amazon will take 12 points off your account health. The 12 points is a big number, between 200 to 250. That is not something you can easily gamble with, because getting 4 more of them will put you at risk. And 4 isn't a large number, so don't play with it. Another reason that your account health rating could go down is if you stop selling on Amazon for a long time. Getting more sales can increase your account health rating. Every 200 units sold is 4 points added to your account. If you have no violation received on your account every 30 days, you get another 4 points added. But if the streak was interrupted with any untreated violation, even if it's low impact, doesn't affect anything per se, but to stay on top of your account health and treat it timely. If you don't, even low impact violation can be turned into high impact and affect your account health rating and causing your account health rating to go down if it's left untreated. So the best practices, you should definitely check your account health on a daily basis frequently and take care of it immediately in case something happens. Now let's talk about why you should get your account health rating up to 250 rating as soon as possible. Because at this level, Amazon tends to give you more buy box. There isn't an exact number of how much you will get, but you will get more versus new sellers, because at this level, you're starting to get into intermediate or even advanced sellers. You're not seasoned yet, but you know enough of what you're doing to get to that high. So Amazon tend to be a little bit more lenient on your account to give you more brands and get more brands for you easily, get more auto engage, so you get more brands to sell. Decreasing sales will increase your account health. It's a perfect cycle. Second, there is a program called the Account Health Assurance Program. Staying above 250 account health rating for 180 days and 100 plus units sold, and some other metrics such as verify your phone number or have a valid email address. With all these things qualified, you are enrolled into the Account Health Assurance Program. Because if you are below 250, you are not qualified for this at all. For being this program, one of the major benefits is if your account is facing a Section 3 suspension account review, you will get a call from a specialized account health agent before you get in that notice, and they will give you 24 to 72 hours to work things out, to fix things. If you fix things before receiving the account health notification, you may be able to get your account back up before anything happens. You can avoid a Section 3 suspension with the Account Health Assurance Program. But if you're below this, you're not even in this program as a new seller, Amazon can suspend your account out of nowhere without telling you. So between 200 and 250, you are still at risk. Your business is at risk. So take care of your account health, as this is the lifeline of your business. I hope you have learned a ton of things from this chapter, because not only you can sell products on Amazon, but it is a privilege to sell on Amazon. Don't break any rules. Follow the rules so you can stay on Amazon for a longer term. Here are some best Amazon seller practices to protect your accounts. First, if you ever receive any account health violation, you should never ever acknowledge any account health complaints or violations. You should always submit what you have. Even if you just have a piece of receipt, you should still submit it to appeal. Here are two things that are going to happen if you acknowledge any account health violation. It may look good because the violation will drop off immediately from your account health dashboard, but the record will stay on your account for 180 days. By acknowledging a violation, you are pretty much admitting to Amazon you are breaking the terms and services when you're not supposed to. So this leads to grounds for Section 3 suspension. It's basically admitting that you're guilty without even trying to appeal. Always appeal with what you have. Second, don't give in to denials. Stand firm on your standing if you have all documents. Amazon tends to send a ton of boilerplates or automated responses to reject your appeal. That is pretty frustrating, because you'll be wondering, what am I doing wrong here? I have everything. Why can't you just see it? I've known plenty of sellers. I've coached plenty of students that have the same issue, but this is normal. Don't give into it. Repeat your submission. Submit once a week. Submit everything that you have. Eventually, you will get around these boilerplate template responses, because these are just AI or automated responses that has no real informational value to you. Eventually, your appeal will get passed to a real person who actually knows what they're doing and approve them to remove the violation of your account. But keep trying. Third, you should never ever buy from a closeout, liquidator, or buy inventory from another third-party seller. No matter how good a deal is, something is too good to be true. And at the same time, you will not have any supply chain documents to prove that the product you bought from whoever these people are legitimate. It could be stolen goods. It could be used or counterfeits. You don't know. The worst thing you could do as an Amazon seller is don't know where your product from. Amazon will absolutely burn you to the ground. You don't know. Fourth, you should avoid buying a product from a WhatsApp supplier or group chat deals or Telegram deals or Instagram suppliers. They will text you something like the ASIN of the product, what's the buy cost, some insane number for ROI, like 90% or 150%. Again, something is too good to be true, and they will tell you how many you need to order, what's the total cost. Typically, it's 5,000 or 10,000. I have seen, in fact, somebody bought from WhatsApp supplier and lost $10,000. The person just took the money and run. So you should never trust these people. There are so many scammers in the e-commerce space. Don't lose money just because some deal is too good. You should always ask for a second opinion. If you ever see these things happening, you can DM me. I'll personally vet it for you. Number 5, never forge or alter an invoice or hire someone off of the Fiverr or somewhere else who claim to offer services like ungating, IP removal, account reinstatement. Especially, it's a red flag when they say there's a number of like the success rate that they have with these things. For anybody who actually know how Amazon works, there is no guarantee of success to anything. So it's a complete scam when somebody guarantees you they can get your account reinstated by paying them. That is not how it works. Sometimes the ungating or IP removal or account reinstatement appeals can get very frustrating because you keep getting denied or keep getting the same response from Amazon. And they bruise the idea to get a fake invoice, to get what Amazon wants, to forge something that you can pack. But this is a very, very risky thing to do. Not only you're committing a fraud, but also Amazon may blacklist you if they find out. They will cut out all the hope you have to reinstate your account. So never do this. 6, this one is very sneaky, so pay attention. Never log into your account on multiple devices or connect to multiple insecure public networks. What this means is you should only log into your account on your own computer, in your own residential Wi-Fi or business Wi-Fi, in a designated location. Do not connect to a public network. Suppose you're going to a trade show or a conference, or you are at work and you log into your account on your work computer. This is not allowed. Do not ever use your primary login account to do these things. There's something called the internet footprint, which Amazon tracks by linking you to someone else you never know. It's called a linked account suspension. Number 7, you should never lose your cool on a phone call with an Amazon sales support agent because they can leave good and bad notes on your case that directly determine whether you will get a good decision or not. Always stay professional. It gets frustrating because some of these support agents have heavy accents, make it hard to understand, especially you're trying to explain your situation when you're already frustrated. My best advice is you write down what you want to say and provide the answer to ChatGPT or some AI bot to summarize for you for a professional answer and read it off a script. Pouring your emotion into a phone call, throwing a tantrum, or directing your anger towards somebody else. These are not good practices as a good business owner. It's just unprofessional. Number 8, you should never participate in reimbursement fraud or selling stolen goods. You can still open a case to file a reimbursement if Amazon didn't reimburse you, but you cannot do a fake switcheroo or blame it on a customer that it is their fault that you lost money. Amazon may give you back the money, but they can also verify the legitimacy of your case. If they found out that you, for whatever reason, did whatever that fraudulent, they can suspend you. And selling stolen goods, this is an issue related to the supply chain. Number 9, you should always stay on top of your account health and check your performance frequently. Check your AHD, the account health dashboard, check the voice of customer, NCX, negative customer experience. What this does is some of the readings and reviews and feedback from your orders may not come through as storefront reviews, but they will show up in the NCX to tell you which of the product you're selling are performing good. If a product has poor rating or frequent returns or bad reviews, to stop selling it. Any of the NCX reviews can lead to account health issues such as inauthenticity complaint or policy violation that may cause you to lose a lot of money. So stay on top of this and monitor the progress and performance. Number 10, as a beginner, you should always test buy. Go a mile wide and an inch deep on the first to the third buy. Some of you may say, I'm going to miss out on a deal, so I want to buy it all. What if the deal never come back, right? That happens a lot, but have an abundance mindset. There are so many products on Amazon. Don't get married to a product. You can use AI to source product for you and get you plenty of opportunities to source from. So test buy as a beginner. Buy just enough to see the performance of the product until you are confident enough after 1 to 3 buys that you can go deeper. Otherwise, don't think about it. In this video, I hope you have learned enough to understand how to maintain your account health and how to perform the best of your abilities on Amazon and don't break any rules. This is an important step as your Amazon selling journey. Make sure to follow this and keep referencing it. Trust me, it will pay off.